Hello, welcome to Real Reds Talk. My name is San. I'm joined by Dave and Chivy, and we're here with your Friday night show. Bit of viewers Q&A. We'll get into a couple of stories. We'll get into a couple of opinions and stuff like that, but we're here for your questions. Dave, Chivy, how are we? How's the weekend looking?
All right, not bad.
Nothing, Dave? Cool.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, mate.
No, I just thought I'd let Chivy answer first.
Fair enough.
Yeah, man. I think it's my mum's birthday. I'm just coming up pretty soon, so we're gonna go see her on Sunday. Got to play
Very
footy
nice.
tomorrow morning.
Nice.
So yeah, we got a couple of things on.
Good weekend. Good weekend. Happy
I
birthday
think
to
I
Dave's mum.
remember that is it raining? Because here it's been raining all day.
It's stopped raining now here, but we'll see how it is tomorrow morning. I'll have to check on the weather. I don't care. Footy in the rain's more realistic, innit?
Cold, wet, was it cold, wet, windy night in Stoke? There you go.
Exactly, yeah, mate. Sorry.
Well, yeah, we'll get into your questions. So get your questions in the chat if you're about, and we'll get to them at some point. First thing on the agenda, Andre Onana. It is all but done. Damasio went early last night saying he's done, he's sold. The Romano was like, this is his final meal at Javier Zanetti's restaurant. All the stuff but we've not yet heard a here we go. Not yet. And I've not seen Ornstein as well. I've got Twitter open, so if it happens during the show, I'll let you know. But yeah, Dave, thoughts on Onana all but done? How we feeling? Happy? De Gea gone now as well, so it seems like a totally new start, doesn't it, for United?
I think it's what we needed, to be honest with you. And on the no Ornstein, no Fabrizio, I remember the Pogba deal, and it was Damasio who broke that before anybody else. And that was the first time I was made aware of just who he was and how good his sources were in Italy. So I think Damasio's the guy for Italy. He might even be like the Italian Ornstein, or is Ornstein the English Damasio? It's probably that way around. But yeah, I'm proper happy. I'm just eager to see him in pre-season and eager to get to Old Trafford next season and watch him play. He'll be a mad one for sure.
Heart attacks in the Stretford
Is
end.
you're just saying the crowd drawing the breath.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it.
There will be clangers, but at the same time, there'll just be moments of absolute magic, and we'll be like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah. Well, what's your feel? You can fill in on that as well, Chivy. But tactically, this is going to change Manchester United for the better, surely, because he plays so high up on the sort of edge of his own area at times. Sometimes he wanders into midfield. Yeah. Which means all the defenders are going to be able to step up a bit, which means the midfielders can. Casemiro plays further forward, which means that 2-8s, which I assume that's what we're going to go. They'll play further forward line, etc. So it improves everything in the team. How sort of tactically are you looking forward to with Onana now coming in and being our number one?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Dave. There will be a few clangers here and there, especially if I hope we're not going to be pushing up as much as everyone thinks we are, because that always just makes me nervous. Because once we lose the ball, it might be an issue. But I'm just most excited about his distribution. We've seen that in Europe, he's probably one of the best in terms of distribution. You and I watched the FA Cup final together, both of them. Every time De Gea got the ball and sent it out, it was literally it was every time it was a turnover. Every time, just gave it to the opposition. There was literally no point of him taking a goal kick or anything. So, in terms of and we've always been good with the counter attack, and to have a goalkeeper that understands that and has good distribution and vision as well, I think would be great for us. I just don't know enough about his shot stopping ability, if he's got good reflexes. I'm not so sure about that, but I mean, if it's decent, then yeah, why not?
I've seen a couple of highlight clips. Obviously, highlight clips only show you the best of what someone's capable of. He seems like he's got decent shot stopping. I've only watched him in the Champions League, to be fair. I haven't watched him week in, week out in Serie A. But he looks like he's... I don't think he will have got to a point in his career if he can't have a decent shot stop on him. If he's going to get to this level, I think he is. And it's obviously he can work on it as well.
Another thing I like actually, just to add, is his
Yeah.
mentality. Like he's like he has a very bullish mentality, not cocky or
Yes.
anything. It's kind of bullish, and I like that sort of confidence that players have.
Uncompromising, innit? He's
Yeah,
like, oh,
he's one of them ones that's never. He's not phased by anything.
no,
And yeah, it's just I love that, that we're building a team with characters in there.
absolutely. Dave, yeah, just on that, the sort of tactical things, stuff like that. I know you've been not not hating De Gea, but a very big critic of De Gea over the time. Like you've been on the channel and stuff like that. Chivy mentioned the distribution. Is that the sort of most important thing you're looking for, or are you looking for something slightly different from Onana?
It's the whole package, right? You're looking for someone who can help us distribute with his feet and his hands. So that's like both from open play and from kicks. So that's the one, and he's like comfortably one of the best in the world at that. Comfortably, like it's not even, it's a joke. Like we all look at Edison and like sometimes we're just like, Jesus Christ, this guy's basically just a midfielder, isn't he? And like Onana's like that as well.
Yeah.
Also, it's his ability to come and sweep. Like it can be it can be a bit reckless sometimes and look a bit like, oh my god, what are you doing? But like more often than not, he gets it. To be fair to him, and the high claims too, like coming out for crosses, challenging people in the air. He's a big, stocky guy. He's got, when he's coming to claim stuff like that, he's got pretty safe hands. He doesn't always have the safest hands when he's saving shots. Like he's got a weird thing where he can punch it like away sometimes. Like when he's saving it, it can go like anywhere. It can sometimes just go through his hands, like and into the net, which is not great, or it can like end up on the halfway line. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we've definitely got like a completely different goalkeeper to De Gea, especially like imagine peak De Gea, but like almost inversed.
Everything he's bad at, he's Onana's good at, and everything De Gea's good at, Onana's shit at.
Yeah, like De Gea was in his peak. He still wasn't amazing at coming out and claiming crosses and stuff like that. He was just making incredible saves, like left, right, and center every time. Onana can do that, and in certain positions, you will see him make like really good reflex saves in the same way De Gea would with his feet. But in other situations, you will be sat there thinking, Pete De Gea saving that. Like we've not had Pete De Gea for a few years, so there might be some sort of what's it called? Like when you just sort of you look at everything through like rose tinted glasses when De Gea's gone, you'll be like, oh, you would have saved that, but for 4 years he hasn't been making those kind of saves usually. So I imagine we're going to end up with like a goalkeeper who's been pretty much just as good, maybe even a little bit better than the one we've had for the last 4 years with all the goalkeeping stuff, but one who's just like magnitudes better with his feet, with claiming crosses, with sweeping in behind. Like, yeah, I think it's a really good decision from the club.
I'll tell you who loved this. Marcus Rashford would be the happiest man on the planet.
Oh, the ball in behind is just on every single time, innit? Every single time.
Just give him. He's just looking for space right in front of him, and then that's just leave defenders in the way.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to him joining up like with the back four and being a part of the build up. It's going to be nuts. Yeah. He'll be pushing ahead of like Varane and stuff. It's just like, what's going on?
Lissandro will turn around and you'll see Onana going past him. Just like, what the fuck? Where's he going?
I mean, it's useful, right? It's like if people are trying to press you, and you've just got an extra person who you can pass to who's just as good. It's probably like it'll be better at passing than Varane is, for example.
Yeah,
like he's definitely not the worst passer in that back line by any stretch. Like it'll be ridiculous.
That's
and his composure as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
His composure is insane. It's not just because when you're being pressed, it doesn't help to be a good passer. You have to be able to keep your composure to be able to. And from what I've seen, I think
it's a joke, isn't it?
It's a joke. You watch his highlights and you're laughing. Like, what's he doing?
Like you said, Chivy, though, he's got that not arrogance, but that uncompromising confidence where he's like, I'm going to do this. I don't give a shit. I'm doing it anyway. Yeah. And you see players come at him and he'll just like go little step over and he's gone. And it's just like, how many goalkeepers in the world do you see do that? Like Edison, maybe? Like it's not many.
He sat
Yeah.
a few people down. Like when you watch the highlights, he sat a few people. Like
Oh yeah,
if you
definitely.
sat them down. And then the craziest one was I think it was AC Milan. There's two players pressing, and he literally plays the ball right in between both of them. But he doesn't. He just passes like a slow pass in
Yeah.
between both of them because they're rushing, and it just makes them look stupid.
He can do that because he's 2-footed. Like he
Yeah.
can pass perfectly well with
Oh,
both
yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
Like it's a really good attribute to have.
No, absolutely. I'll read out a couple of comments on the Onana thing. Let's have a look. Who will play the song on since Nick is not here today? Have you guys got access to the soundboard? Because if I click it, it's going to go over my face. So if someone could, the Onana
That's
one.
what he said.
Do we have access to this?
Do you have access? No?
It says open soundboard right there. So let's see. Can we do it? Or is it going to come up over my face?
No,
Where is
it won't.
Onana?
It won't be on your face.
Onana,
Hey,
Onana, what's my name?
there we go.
There we go.
Everybody happy in the chat now? They were all asking for it. T800, I'm mentally preparing myself to see Onana doing stepovers in the centre circle at Old Trafford. Yeah, I could definitely see that. His shot stop is very good, but he tends to push out into danger areas, which is what Dave said. Centre backs are very switched on to this and always wait to make clearances. So yeah, maybe Varane and Lissandro have got to be switched on to that. 20 people are saying, here we go for Onana 8 till 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully. Prabrav, can't wait to see our build up next season. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for that. Shah Sam, if we're going to play the way Ten Hag means, we will be facing less shots, meaning he won't be facing as many shots. So yeah, could be. Onana waiting for the green light to fly to Manchester from Red Devil Yannick. And Kerwin Nixon, it doesn't cost to press that like button, folks. Absolutely, couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for that. Get more questions, comments in the chat, and I will read them out as many as I can. Moving on. Sales. There was a couple of news items coming out yesterday. Elanga is being looked at by Everton and Nottingham Forest, I believe. They're both either submitting bids or they're looking to submit bids. Either way, they're looking at him. When I thought about Elanga, I was thinking maybe 8 to 10 million, but there's rumours it could be 15 to 20, which I think is excellent business. You've got Galatasaray, who made a bid for Fred, which was under the valuation. I don't know how much, but if we're only thinking 20 million for Fred, it must have been quite low. Fulham still interested, Saudi still interested, but nobody's made a bid. And then the last one I saw, apparently West Ham, once the money clears from the Declan Rice deal, they're going to start looking at Scott McTominay, which could be an interesting deal. Chivy, of all those deals, do you see any of them going? Do you see all three of them going? Do you see only one of them going? And sort of how much do you think we can recoup from those sort of three players there?
Just like everyone, I'm surprised that we're getting 15 to 20 for Elanga.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's a Swedish international. Like he's not and he's scored a few important goals for his country as well. So it's not like he's just some youth. 15. I'm not a greedy person, and I'm just happy to see people go, like people that need to go. So 15 would be a good price. If we get anything over 15, for me, it's a bonus, I think.
Exactly.
Fred and McTominay, I think both of them will go because we need them to go before we can buy any players. I saw the article about McTominay going to West Ham, but then I think it was Ornstein. Someone reliable said West Ham are looking at Edson Alvarez from
the Ajax.
Ajax,
Yeah.
And Scott McTominay's thing was the independent. I don't know how true that is. But I think we can fetch a decent amount of money for him. Between 25 mil should be reasonable.
All profit as well, homegrown player.
He's homegrown. 25 mil to be, good. With Fred, 20. Hopefully we get a Saudi team coming.
Push that price up. Push that price
up.
up.
So we can get like 30 or 20, at least 25 or 30. At this point, it's quite imperative that we can't pretend to play hardball because we actually need the players to go so that we can get some money and and get some midfielders. And if the rumors are true about Sophie and Amrabat at 25 mil, that's we're laughing.
Oh mate, I if we can get him for 25 mil, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely
Yeah.
buzzing about that.
Yeah. So if I mean, just say it's 15 for what's his name, Elanga, another 20 for I forgot everyone's name.
McTominay?
McTominay, Fred. If we get like 60 M's or 50, let's just say we get 50 million for all three.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get Amrabat for 25. We've got an extra 25 there to add to what we have already. So yeah.
No, I agree. I've just seen as well on Twitter, I forgot to mention it when I was speaking to Chivy there, Dave. Alex Tellers is being looked at by the Al Nasser, I think the one Ronaldo plays for. And I saw the article was it maybe suspect a bit of bullshit because it's like they're looking to reunite Tellers and Ronaldo, the former teammates. So I was just like, I don't think Ronaldo gives a shit about Alex Tellers, to be honest with you. But
different nationalities, and I don't even think they played together once.
I did play together once. There's photos of them on the pitch together, so they have played together once.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, might have been preseason, but I've seen him in the shirt.
To be fair, Ronaldo was there for a year and a half, wasn't he? I forgot that. I forgot he was only here for 6 months, but no, he had the year before while Tellers was also here.
Yeah, but yeah, please, feel free to jump in on like what Chivy said. Like, do you think all these are realistic? Do you think we can get a decent amount of money? And if so, does that help us out going further? We'll touch on like who we sign next after this, but like, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, if Alanga's a good player, he's not good enough to be like the United striker winger number starter, but in some hypothetical world where we just wanted someone to be like the backup to a backup, that Alanga's good enough for that. You know what I mean? And he could easily go to a club in the Premier League and have a decent career. Forest, and Everton, you say the links. That's fair play. I think if you can get somewhere in the region of 15 to 20, I think that's a really good deal for all involved. Alanga gets his move, he gets to play regularly, and we get some decent amount of money for it. Obviously, there's been a sale of Taheeb Chung.
Yeah,
so United get an extra $1 million and a bit from that.
Yeah. Top it up. Top it up.
And then obviously, so that's pure profit for Alanga, which is nice. Fred, if you can get maybe 15 or so from him, that's based on the amortized value. You're probably looking at about 9 million profit then, really, which is again, it's not bad because most of his value's gone from his contract.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get somebody out, you should be able to get around 30 for Scott. To be honest with you, he's got a lot of Premier League experience. He got a few years left in his contract still. Moyes apparently likes him. I don't necessarily think it's an either or for Alvarez because I think he's a completely different player.
Yeah.
You want Scott to be crash. You want Scott to basically be what Souček does. But I think Scott might, if you did it right, he might actually be better than Souček. Definitely has a bit more athleticism about him. He has the ability to crash late into the box with finishing. We've seen him do that for Scotland. We've seen him do that for us.
He's a goal threat than Souček, I think.
Pardon?
He's more of a goal threat than Souček. Yeah,
Souček had that weird season last year where he scored 10 goals in here from set pieces. It was ridiculous, but then he's completely fallen off a cliff this year. Obviously West Ham needs to replace Rice, and they can't do that with one player because I think Rice is just so good. You'd be looking at maybe trying to replace him with two, and maybe that's what they're looking at with someone who's going to cover a lot of the defensive duties and play it safe like Alvarez, and someone who's just going to be a bit more of a threat going forward. So maybe that's the idea. I don't know, but I think if we can clear those off our books, get someone like Amrabat in, who's a nice little extra option, cover for Casemiro, or I can play alongside Casemiro in certain games. You're laughing, and then any extra cover. Honestly, I'd just be see how the youth do on this tour and just give them a go. Why not? Let Hannibal play a few games. Let Kobe Mainoo play a few games. Why not?
Yeah, but actually, you guys haven't spoken about the preseason game, have you? Chivy, did you watch it? Did you see anything? Who did you like? Who stood out to you? For me personally, I thought that Alvaro Fernandez stood out for me. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Played really well. Crisp passing, pushing forward. Nobody
He's
mentioned
Preston
him.
Player of the Year, wasn't he? Or Preston Young
Exactly,
Player of the Year. Yeah.
And nobody, all the reviews I watched, nobody mentioned him. Like, nobody seemed to think. Everybody was talking about Kobe Mainu, which rightly they should do. Hannibal was really good. Mason Mount had a good showing. But yeah, who stood out for you, Chivy?
I've been telling you guys about Alvaro Fernandez, man. I don't know if you guys can remember. I've been saying this. I'm so he's one of them ones that if we mess around, like he'd be gone like that. Like someone's gonna snap him up. And it wasn't easy getting him from Real Madrid. So I hope we at least try and keep him because there was quite a few teams trying to get him. And we managed to snap him up. And then it would be a shame to just go through all that, snap him up, and then just let him just go. I'd love to see him get a chance in the team. So, and yeah, obviously, you've got like the Mainus. I was impressed with Hannibal because not just how he played, but I love to see young players playing a matured style of football. And he didn't look like a young player. There was a certain maturity about him.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he's been playing in the national team for a while. He's been playing for Birmingham. So you can see that there's a bit of maturity. Obviously, he needs to work on his temperament. But apart from that, I think, But for me, Joe Hugo stood out because his positioning, he's natural. He's just a natural striker. His positioning off the ball. So when Emran scored that goal, I thought he was initially going to square it to Hugo. And Hugo, every time the ball was in an attacking position, like anytime we're on the attack, his position, he was just a natural. He's one of them Cavani type strikers that just knows how to sniff out a goal, always in the box. So I was really, really impressed with him. I know, he probably won't, feature for the rest of the season. But from what I saw, I was really, really impressed with him. And he didn't get too much plaudits. I know he scored a really good goal, but no one really talked about him. And just watching him off the ball, like his off-ball movement was something else. And I was just so impressed. And I hope in some twisted sort of fate, he gets like a chance.
I mean, if we don't sign a striker, we could do a lot worse, couldn't we, than have him on the bench?
Is McNeil injured?
I just hope he goes. I just hope he goes to America on the tour.
Yeah.
I hope he makes the plane, and and then puts in a performance because we need a striker like that. Like we've all got the Sanchos and Marshalls and all the nifty Rashfords and all that, but we need just a traditional old school striker in the box. And
hit a ball into him and he'll score.
Yeah, and because I really pay attention to the youth games, and since he came, he's been one of them ones. Like he's a very consistent goal scorer. So I hope he makes it to America.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave, if you want to touch on like who else sort of stood out to you, I know Nick was talking Ahmad up. I thought he played well, but yeah, anybody else stand out to you in that game?
I agree with Fernandez. First half, I just remember seeing some of his passings like really crisp, like trying to play it forward. Like I was just like you saw him inverting a little bit as well, which is quite interesting because our fullbacks don't usually wander into those kind of positions. They usually see them. Sometimes they do. It's quite varied, really, which is one of the weird things about Ten Hag's system. It's like players can pop up anywhere, and it must be quite hard to defend against that.
Yeah.
So our fullbacks usually end up making runs into the box, or like sometimes overlapping. Like they very rarely come into the central part. So I thought that was quite interesting to see him there. Like it's happened a couple of times. Obviously, Mainu was very good. Like as we know. Is anyone else really? Like, I enjoyed Hannibal's performance. Diallo I liked, but you can tell like it's just a little bit raw still. He's good.
Needs refining,
but like
a bit of refinement on it.
Yeah, I think you know what. Like, I'm not talking about youngsters. Like, there's been some jokes about Mason Mount, like they're always going to be. But I thought he played quite well, and it was nice to see how he's going to fit into the team. Like he's amongst this, we almost forgot that we've got like a brand new signing play for us. And he was
as well.
Exactly, yeah. It was nice. You saw him like picking up the ball, like in the half spaces sometimes from a pass. You saw him dropping in deep and firing balls in between the lines himself, popping up at left back, popping up on the right wing, trying to slip people in. Like it was a nice little showing of like the sort of things we're going to see from him. He's going to be the guy who's looking to get on the ball a lot, and either feed the forwards, or every now and then Bruno might drop in and do that, and he'll be the one who's receiving. So it'd be nice to have two players who are like good at that, rather than just trying to everyone feed Bruno and Fred doing the harrying. It's going to be two players who can do all the harrying, and they're both good enough to make efforts in the final third. So that'll be really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can tell, like, rival fans were just waiting, to see him just make a mistake. And
Yeah,
I saw like a compilation. There's like some guy took like 4 videos, right?
Oh, the Mason Mount fail completely. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
So he passes the ball. Like there was like a free kick that he takes, and then everyone misses the header, and that was one of them. And then another one was the offside that he got, but the whistle had already gone. So he just like played a low shot. The keeper said, "It's just like, come on." I remember when we signed RVP, his first 2 games, he was kind of just, and people were already like, "Oh, he's already flopped." And then he just by the 3rd game, he just we saw the real deal. So I'm not worried about Mason.
Nah.
Preseason is just for people to get match fitness, run around,
exactly. Yeah,
Get minutes.
Yeah, just understand how everyone else plays around you and all that. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree. I'll read a couple more comments, then we'll get into the last topic, and then we'll do the questions. So if you've got a question for Chivy, Dave, or even me, I don't know why you would ask me, but Chivy and Dave, get it in the chat, ask them, and we'll get the best ones.
we've got the Sam fan club. You know
We've
what I
got
mean?
one.
Like, of
There's
course.
one guy. Anonymous Mango is the only member of the South Fan Club. There's one dude. I appreciate you though, Mango. I appreciate you. Don't worry. Anonymous Mango, Onana wasn't at Intis training today. Yeah, I think they're just trying to cinch up everything. West Ham are supposedly going to step up their interest once the Declan Rice paperwork has been finalised. Yeah. Arsenal still have not submitted their side of things. It's so weird that, isn't it, how that's not been done. Like that, he's done his medical, they've done all the stuff, and Arsenal's still dicking about with paperwork. So I don't know what's happening there, but it is what it is. Lewis Jackson, Nick Fan Club. Well, you are the brother of his girlfriend, so I'd expect that. So that's fair enough. I think we should be looking at 40 million from McTominay. Yeah, I'd take 40 million from McTominay. I think that's a bit high, but I would take that all day.
I got that from an FM.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's the Spurs bought him off being one of the players for 40 million. Like, I remember the game being like fans or something being a little upset that homegrown player had left. It's like it's a bit Alan touch. That was funny.
Nice. Steve Hauser said Mainu did well. Yeah, I thought Mainu was class. Emran looked class. Fernandez too. That's from Sean. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Gregory, did you guys see the Dele Alli interview? I did. It was really fucking heartbreaking to watch that interview, man. The shit that dude's been through, and I hope because that guy was such a talent, and he just sort of completely fell off a cliff, and now we know why. We know why.
This is why you have to be careful when you criticize players. Yeah. When Lingard was going through whatever he was going through, and Sanchez, we don't know what these people are going through, and then we're just out here bashing them. So that's why it's really made me think about how we approach like players or criticism or things like that. Like, these people they're human beings going through real life situations, and like
you have to draw the line.
Criticize the football. That's fair game, I think.
But anything else, just like you said, to human beings, like let them. Like we all have problems in our lives, relationships, issues, stuff like we've all got that.
People are having a pop at Maguire for trying to do his best to get back into the team. It's just like,
what do you want him to do? Right, what do you want him to do?
Yeah, what do you want him to do? You'd be moaning at him if he was doing nothing, but he's working with like a specialist to try and get like back fit because he wants his place with the team. Like fair play if he comes in and he's better, then awesome. You know what I mean?
Then we've got another great centre back. Like it's win-win, isn't it? So there you go. Hugo over Vegos, that's for sure. That's from Sean. I mean, 100%. Probably. A few clubs.
Vegos isn't scoring that, is he?
No, definitely not. He's
going straight at the keeper.
Or it's going wide, or he's missing the ball. He's one of the three. I like the pun from Sean. A few clubs will be trying to reel in Fish for the centre back. I like that pun. It's very nice. Evening lads from Brian Casey. Nick Nack, what are the United fans' expectations for the season? Chivy, expectations for the season?
Ooh. It's hard because we haven't completed our, all the transfers. the outgoings, ingoings. I don't know, man. I'm still gonna go like 4th or 5th because I think
Get Champions League at 5th now, don't you? So
yeah, because I think Liverpool are back definitely.
yeah.
And I
I'm
think
not so convinced, but it depends what they do.
yeah, I'm more convinced now that they've let go of Fabinho. Henderson might leave, I think, or he's left. I don't know if he's left already.
Yeah, he's been offered
It's
700k a
debating
week.
that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they go on to get, so they've got McAllister. If they go on to get one of them Kone or Thuram type midfielders, we're in trouble. And I think they'll be back now.
Losing a lot of leadership there, though. Like a hell of a lot of leadership.
Yeah.
It's like Fabinho and stuff was part of the problem last year, and like I think that Henderson was a little bit as well. But it's tough. You can't really say for sure. Like you need some sort of consistent. Like if they start off the season really well and they show like, oh yeah, this Liverpool are back to playing, then fair enough. But I don't know. I'm just not convinced.
Yeah.
There's something not right about it.
Yeah. Sorry, Jimmy.
No, it's just towards the end of the season, that run that they kind of went on kind of gave us a glimpse. And I think McAllister is just the perfect sort of player to fit that style.
He's
but
a very good player.
Hopefully I hope I'm wrong. And I hope Dave's right. I hope they crumble.
Same.
Yeah.
I can't stand Liverpool. Stand Liverpool, so yeah, I hope the same. Second half, team looked good. They were up against some experienced players. Yeah, Leeds brought on a couple of like experienced players, didn't he? And they were essentially playing our youth team. So yeah, absolutely. Nick Knack saying about third would be about par, I reckon, for United. Surely West Ham want to get the deal done quick so they can spunk the cash. I think that's in reference to Declan Rice. Yeah, absolutely. Prav saying would love an interview with Phil Jones to understand what happened behind the scenes. I'm sure that will come at some point. I'm sure there'll be an interview down the line where he explains what went on.
We're trying to manifest that on this channel. Like
yeah, we're trying.
The Phil Jones interview.
Phil, the door's always open, mate. Anytime you want to come on Real Reds, please do. Brian Casey, Maguire needs a specialist to make him better, to be fair. Needs more than a specialist. Harsh views on Maguire in there. Any views on the new offside rule? Dave?
I heard about this, but then I've also heard people say that it might actually not be a thing, and it's like I've heard that it might be tested in like a couple of leagues, but then apparently if you read some of the official notes, it wasn't even in there. So like I've not got a clue. But assuming it's true, I think you're going from almost one extreme to the other. Like, that's just going to force teams to just defend deep. You know what I mean?
Everyone sets up a low block.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what else do you do? Because like you have to be like even better timing your runs now.
Yeah.
And it's just an absolute joke. And then the measurement's just gonna be like they're gonna have like the thing to see if there's like a hairline between them. Like it's a joke. I think daylight.
I like that rule. I like daylight rule.
If there's daylight between you, like granted again, where do you measure the daylight from? I don't know like where it actually like. Is it literally just like if your head's leaning forward more than someone else, is that daylight? I don't know entirely how it works. I think you can be a bit more lenient with it if you wanted to without going too far.
Yeah.
Like they may as well just bring back the whole and I think it was the 20s. The offside rule was you had to have 3 people in front of you or something stupid like that.
Jesus.
So like now it's 2, the goalkeeper and the defender. If you're behind those, then you're offside. But it used to be you had to be like in front of 3 of them. So what used to happen is teams would play an offside trap with the others, but leave one sweeper in behind.
Okay. I'm with you.
So that was like a weird tactic, and then the 2-man was brought in to stop that.
Right.
So like now, but then if they do this again, like to counter this, everyone's just gonna have to come and sit deep. It's gonna be really weird. I hope it doesn't happen.
I heard they were trialing it in a couple of leagues, but I don't know if it's been applied to the Premier League. I'm not sure it's been applied, but
like I remember the other season I heard rumors of like a stop the clock being applied in certain under 21s leagues or whatever.
Games are gonna go on for like 8 hours, man.
So yeah, I think it would be like 60 minutes, stop the clock. Which, if you look at how much the ball is in play for, it's actually in play for a bit less than 60 minutes. So you're actually getting more football that way. Just discouraging time wasted, doesn't it, that way?
Yeah.
So
I think Rashford has got like 70 goals with this new.
oh yeah, that's really like the best player in the world, man.
Yeah, exactly. Never
he's got
offside. Never
Yeah.
offside. Fabinho Henderson could leave Liverpool a bit short. That's from Nick Nack. Van Dijk getting older. Hope their defence lets him down this year. He fell off, didn't he, last year, Van Dijk? Jesus Christ. People sleeping on the Szoboszlai. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Szoboszlai, yeah. From
Szoboszlai.
Hungary.
Signing.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, Szoboszlai is new to the league. Could take a few months to adapt, though. Absolute baller from Aaron Gregory. How many assists is Onana getting this season from Sean? I say 4. At least 4.
I'm gonna go 5. Man.
That's a lot. That's a lot, man. I think 1. I think it'll happen once.
If we have this offside rule, I swear he's going to happen.
Mate, he's never.
With the offside rule, then maybe.
Like 5. Honestly.
Every game, just looking over the top into Rashford. Done.
Because you're not. Yeah, nobody's catching up with Rashford. Nobody.
No, it's not happening.
He's gone. Like, you know.
I like.
Kyle Walker's going as well now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Brian Case saying, I like it goes back to the benefit of the attacker being trialled in Italy, Holland, and Sweden. So there you go. Brian Casey, that sounds better, mate, in my opinion, but does mean daylight between them. Or yeah, there's a lot of like questions and sort of like.
I get what you're saying, Brian, but I do think it's one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
I think it's okay as it is now. It's not perfect, but I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I do have a problem when it's like someone's toe and it's like fucking millimeter, and you're like you're taking the piss. Like that's just ridiculous. Like, come on.
Yeah, my opinion is if you have to physically go and measure it, he's onside.
Yeah. Give the benefit
That's
of the
my
doubt.
opinion.
Man. Give the benefit of the doubt. Right, let's move on to the last bit, and then everybody in the chat, more questions, please drop them in. Whatever you want to ask, even if it be non-football related, if you want. It's Friday night. Fuck it, ask whatever you want. Next signing. So if we do get some sales and stuff like that, then great. We've got some extra money in the bank. We have Onana almost. We've got Mason Mount and thing. Chivy, who's the next person we sign? And also, who's the next person you think we should sign? Don't have to be the same person, but just give me the answer to those 2 questions.
Well, like realistically, like who's the next person? Realistically.
Yeah. Realistically, and then give me also who you think you would sign for the benefit of the team. But give me a realistic answer. Don't say Mbappe or something. Do you know what I mean?
Or Frankie de Jong.
Frankie de Jong, yeah. Don't get Nick excited. Let's not do that again.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, there's a lot of indication of Amrabat, so I think we might go for that. And also, he's played for Ten Hag before. Apparently, that's the thing now. If you've played for Ten Hag before, he's also he's always trying to get you. So yeah, I think realistically we might go for Amrabat. If you'd ask me, another good option to get would be Alvarez. That's Alvarez from Ajax. Because defensively we've shown that we're sound from last season. We've got good defenders. If we can get one more centre back at some point, that'll be great. But then having the midfield, if we're going to lose McTominay and Fred, we need to have like a robust midfield. And if we can get either Amrabat or Alvarez or both, to add depth and give us a bit of a little bit more energy and bullying in that midfield, so that we can always assert ourselves. So we don't get played off the pitch, or we don't get overrun, overpowered, things like that. When we played Arsenal, I was so pissed off because, like, even though Eriksen played really well,
gets bullied too much, doesn't he? Just gets bullied.
Yeah. The goal Saka scores and the equaliser that Saka scored, like, there's no way Amrabat or another player like that.
I know Amrabat fouls him if he tries to get past him. He fouls him, doesn't he?
He doesn't even need to foul him. Like, he's just more physically imposing than him. So if we have those kind of players in the midfield, I'll be super happy. Of course, we need a number 9, but I'd be more than happy with 1 or 2 midfield additions.
Nice. Dave?
I don't know if I agree with Alvarez, just 'cause I think that might be overkill. I know what you mean. Like, it would be nice to have cover, but then if you think about it, Alvarez is only playing if Casemiro is definitely out, and even then, I think
Suspended.
Amrabat would probably play over him. You know what I mean? I think the three you'd run with would be Amrabat, Mount, and what's it called? Bruno, for example, as a three. If they were both out, obviously you'd be like, oh yeah, we can play Amrabat, but like, you get injuries all the time, and I think it would be probably. I don't think Alvarez would go for it either. I think he's a good player, but I think
Yeah.
like you'd be like, dude, you're not going to play that often. Like, I'm sorry, and I don't think he'd probably go for that. I think he'd probably rather go somewhere like West Ham, for example, where he's going to be like, yeah, you're our number one holding midfielder. Rice is gone. Come in. But who would I like us to sign? Oh my God, Hojlund would be nice. Someone like that. If not him, if there's weird like conflicts with the press. Some people are saying, oh, he's going to cost £45 million, whatever, and then but English press are briefing that he's going to cost over 80, which it's really weird. I'm not really sure what to make of that.
Who's
I think
that?
if he's going to, Hojlund.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. God, so if he's going to cost 80, why not go get someone like they've not really been proper links with Ramos, but why not go and get him?
I agree.
Why not just see if you can get someone like Taremi and worst comes to worst, go get João Felix on loan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you really can't find a striker this season, like at least get something. It's not ideal because like there'll be another 30-plus-year-old striker that we're signing. But like
Rashford and Felix, it could be worse, couldn't it? Like Rashford and Felix and thing, and then if you chuck in, say Hugo does have a great showing and thing, easier.
Yeah.
Like it's not the worst idea in the world, is it? Like I've seen.
So yeah, I think yeah. So then the next one I think we will do is the one with the most noise is Hojlund, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the most sort of official noise, but there is whispers of Amrabat.
Yeah.
So I think Amrabat's potentially more reliant on. I think what James has said, I watched with his show. James feels that selling the midfielders, like Scott and Fred, for example, is what's going to push us to get the striker. And he feels like Amrabat's something that we're going for just in general because we need the extra reinforcements of quality there. Mm-hmm. Which is, I can kind of see where he's thinking. Because, like, say if you get Amrabat in and you maybe offload one of the midfielders, you've got Rashford up front and potentially some other youth guys, and you just run with that. But I'm not sure. No, I think I'd definitely get a striker, just because I think you're more likely to be able to make do if you've got like Fred as one of your spares, Fred and like Eriksen to rotate between Bruno and let's say Mount. And even though like we don't think it's ideal to play Scott at the 6, he can do it sometimes. I feel like I would rather just get the striker.
Yeah. I agree. I think striker has to happen. It's like my key position. Like I think we've got Mount in, which is good. It's a rotation or sort of replacement for Eriksen. You can bring Eriksen separate games, but a striker has to happen. Like we need a striker.
Yeah, I agree.
Now we've got Onana in. Like we need a striker. That has to happen. Right. Yeah. Let's look at some questions. Sean, what do you think Erik ten Hag had for his tea tonight? Any guesses? No.
Schnitzel.
Schnitzel? That's German. Don't think it's Dutch.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing.
What did he have for his tea? Friday night, fish and chips.
Fish and chips, nice.
Aaron
Gregory, what artists are in your rotation that may need new music to listen to? Let me bring up my Spotify. Let me have a look what I've been listening to recently. I have got Holding Absence. I've got Drax Project, which is a rap group. I've got Dayseeker, which is like sort of neon pop sort of rock stuff. I've got what else have I got on here? Varials, which is like hardcore, post-hardcore stuff. A lot of people won't like it, but it's what I'm listening to. And then I've got Counterparts, which is a similar type of thing. So quite heavy, quite stuff. And then my favourite band that's always in rotation is Triple One, which is an Aussie rap band. Fantastic. Go check them out if you're into any sort of rap. It's fantastic. Chivy, what's in your rotation, mate?
King Von just dropped a new album, even though he's dead. But yeah, there's a new King Von album that came out today, and yeah, I really like Von. So yeah, that's one to check out. There's another artist called Venna. He's like a underground hip hop artist I think he's from London. And I just discovered him the other day, and yeah, it's like really soft tones. It's not the crazy cursing sort of rap, but it's really good, very melodic as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds like a throwback, like to like 90s. It's not.
I'm gonna check that out then. I like
Yeah,
90s rap.
Yeah, it's not like grime or this new drill. London, it's none of that. It's like really cool melodic stuff. It's called Venna. That's his name. So yeah.
Definitely checking that out. Dave, what's on the rotation Spotify, mate?
Well, to be honest, I've not listened to tons of music at the minute. So usually when I do, I just go on like Apple Music, click the radio for Dave, and just click play and see what comes on, what I like, and it usually cycles through songs I already have. But one artist I always do have an eye on, and I'm gonna have a check after this actually, see if he's got any new stuff coming out. But I always like listening to what Wolfpack are bringing out and what Corey Wong's bringing out. Love those guys, and if you don't know who they are, they're like, what's the genre, like R&B, soul, funk sort of music. Really cool. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in like, and they're all like really good musicians as well. It's just really nice to listen to. If you want something a bit more extreme, Thank You Scientist to my band.
You told me about them. You told me about them. Yeah.
Progressive metal jazz fusion. Blow your mind. Just so good.
Chivy, just go listen to it. It's fucking an experience, mate.
Thank
you, Scientist.
Yeah. Honest to God, like Dave told me about it. I went listening. I was just like, "What is this? This is
progressive metal jazz fusion."
Yep.
Yeah. So it's got all your classic elements of like a progressive metal band. You know, your vocalist, guitar player, bass player, drummer. But then you've got your almost like a jazz quartet on top of that. You've got like a violinist, you've got a saxophone player, you've got a trumpet player, and they all work together. It's incredible. And the guitar player is insane as well. He's so good.
It's an experience, Chivy. I've not heard a lot. Like normally, I'm not. I listen to music and I've heard it all, but it's an experience, mate.
Yeah,
check it out.
All right.
You might not like it, but it will your mind will just be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Like you'll experience something
new. Check it out, man.
Tommy, Sam, who do you want to go for other than the obvious? Yeah, I'd go for Gonzalo Ramos. Honestly, I think he's the guy we should be going for, especially if Hojlund's 85 million. Like I would go for Gonzalo Ramos. I think he's got everything, and he plays absolutely fantastic with Benfica. He played well at the World Cup, so yeah, that'd be my choice. But I don't see it happening personally. Sean saying Glassjaw, Joy Division, Smashing Pumpkins, ASAP Rocky, Queens of Stone Age, and Griselda. Yeah, I've got a couple of them on my playlist. Some choices.
Yeah, I mess with Griselda as well.
Yeah, Glassjaw I got into when I was like 15 or something like that. I can't remember Glassjaw, but yeah. Don't we get a here we go tomorrow? United work over the weekend. Fab and honestly said the news comes out like 10 minutes after the clubs reach an agreement. Yeah, so could be right now, could be tomorrow, could be. We'll see what happened. Prabrav saying Corey Wong is a legend. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Prabrav saying, what's that last band? It says, is Thank You Scientist? Is that it,
Thank
Dave?
you.
Yeah.
Thank You Scientist.
They're crazy, man.
Yeah. Aaron Greg is saying Action Bronson. Yeah, I've not listened to Action Bronson. I don't know much about him, but I know who he is. But yeah. Prabrav saying, who's the melodic rapper you mentioned from London before?
Vanna.
How do you spell that?
VENN.
There you go, Prabrav.
VENN, yeah. There's a song called check that one out first. It's such a tune, yeah.
Yeah, Triple One would be my suggestion. Go check them out. Aussie rap group with a guy who's got a fucking they have a clean vocalist on the chorus who's fantastic. Really, really good. Go check them out. Outside of football, what's the one sporting event you'd love to go to, Chivy?
Ha! You know that one. UFC, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
In Vegas. Did you go to Vegas?
Anywhere, man.
Anywhere.
Vegas, Abu Dhabi, anywhere. London.
Nice.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Dave?
God, I don't really know. To be honest, I feel like hockey would be a fun one to go and watch.
I've been to an NHL game. Yeah. It's fun. It's very fun.
I've not I don't really have an interest in any other sports, to be honest with you. Like, nothing else I used to. I like playing a few of the other ones, but I wouldn't, because I'm not into the sports. But hockey seems like the one that it seems like it's fairly high, fast paced, which is nice, but also like semi-ish low scoring.
Yeah.
Enough so it's just not like basketball where all the scores are in 100. Like a goal actually means something. You know what I mean?
And they fight each other as well. They beat the shit out of each other. So
so it'd be pretty fun. And obviously ice skating's just ridiculously difficult to do. Like you're doing that and you're trying to hit something. I admire the athleticism.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to go to Wrestle Kingdom in Japan, which is New Japan Wrestling. Their WrestleMania, basically. Like you've got WrestleMania WWE. New Japan's version is Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome in January, February. I'd love to go to it. It's on my bucket list. I would love to go to it, but yeah, Japan's expensive, so it's
yeah.
It remains.
So is it the same kind of wrestling, or is it are there going to be some elements of sumo in there too?
No. So it's pro wrestling, but the way Japan sort of presents, so WWE presents it as like an entertainment and a soap opera, and the storylines. Japan presents it like a legitimate sport, so it's wins and losses matter. It's more sort of contact based and striking based and stuff. So it's a little bit different. It's still predetermined and choreographed, but it's a little bit different to the WWE style. But yeah,
you watch a choreographed fight, man. I don't get it.
It's like a movie. You watch it. You watch films all the time, don't you? This racer is.
Yeah.
It's you wrestling. If you go to a live event, you either get it or you don't. If you go to a live event and you don't like it, then cool. I absolutely understand. If you go to a live event and it just hooks you for some reason, that's the way you. On TV, it's a bit different. A live event, there's chant, especially in the English crowds. There's chants going on. There's fan interaction and stuff it's fun. But yeah.
I just reminded of Rooney slapping someone.
Yeah, there you go. I remember that. Didn't I think Corey Taylor did it as well at Download Festival one year as well. They had WWE there, and Corey Taylor smacked a dude who's Corey Taylor's dead short, and he was this guy's 6'3". He cracks him across the face. He's fucking.
He's all neck, isn't he, Corey Taylor?
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron saying, Chivy, did you watch the past UFC event? Volk is untouchable.
Yep, I did, man.
Did you watch Dan Hooker break his arm and fuck up his ribs as well?
He broke his face.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and he came back. I was so worried for him. I really wanted him to get that win.
Yeah.
And did you see his head?
Yeah.
So he died blonde.
It's just
by the
pink
end of the fight,
by the
end. He's an animal.
He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man. Anonymous man go need a Fabrizio update ASAP. Yeah, I've got Twitter open in front of me. There's nothing at the minute, but if something happens, we will post about it. Don't worry. Prab has joined the Sam fan club. Wait, I've got 2 people. There's 2 of them now. We've got 2. Aaron saying Dave Woe digging out my sport of basketball. He's not happy that you sort of dug out his sport of basketball there.
I just it's fun to play. Don't get me wrong, but when all the scores are 85, 83, it can't be 83. Oh no, it could be, I suppose, because the 3-pointers. 83 to if it's 83, 82, great. Okay, that's pretty intense for the last 5 minutes or so, innit? But when someone scores and the first few minutes, it's just does it matter?
Nobody should be basketball. No one should be allowed to score to the last 30 seconds, and then it's just
exactly. Yeah, look at that. That's mint.
It's pro wrestling. You have to really be into it. I was crazy about basketball, and then I lost my love for it. But yeah, I get it. I get the high scores, and it's just end to end. Sometimes it's high tempos, end to end.
So that some people it's that's one of the criticisms that Americans, for example, give against football. It's it's too low scoring. There's nothing going on. It's just that criticism could probably level it the counter could probably be said about why I'm saying this about basketball. It's just I think there's almost too much, almost superficially going on.
Absolutely.
Whereas in football, there's a lot of underlying stuff going on. It's quite strange, isn't it? I got nothing against it. If people like basketball, I can get it. Because there's a lot of very talented people doing a lot of quite cool things. I imagine if I sat and watched it, I could probably find parts of it but just on the face of it, it just feels a lot more exciting. To be on the edge of your seat for waiting for something to happen. as opposed to something happening constantly all the time.
But basketball is a lot more than just going to score. Like there's a lot more team play.
Oh, I'm sure
going-
there are. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure there is. Yeah.
So like if you really get into it and you understand like when you have like some dominant teams, they just have certain ways of playing that is literally unbreakable. And you
Yeah.
have different types of players. So it's a lot more, but I get it. Like on the face of it, it's just two teams running and then shooting the ball and scoring. But there's a lot more screening going, positioning going. There's a lot more defense. There's a lot of tactics involved. That's why you'd see maybe when the score is like 92-91 and there's 6 seconds left in the game, a team will call the timeout with only 6 seconds left to play and try and influence the game. It's that technical. So it's just the way it is. But yeah, I used to be really, really big on basketball, but I kind of just
It's one of the criticisms, like when City are just pummeling someone 6-0. It's just like, well, this isn't even fun to watch, is it?
Yeah, I was into hockey for a long time, like ice hockey. I used to like get up at 5 a.m. and watch the NHL and stuff like that. And then like Chivy, I fell off. I couldn't do it anymore, just getting up at that time in the morning to watch it. But I went to an LA Kings game when I was in Los Angeles a few years ago. That was fun. Live is really, really fun. I would recommend it, Dave. Absolutely.
I used to like the LA Kings.
Yeah, it's a good jersey.
Yeah,
It's a good jersey, man. Brian Casey, is Chivy looking forward to Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg at UFC 300?
Yeah, Zuckerberg will smash this. I've not seen Zuckerberg.
He's shredded, isn't he? He's ripped, man.
He will be. Yeah, I don't think Elon Musk understands what he's getting himself into, man.
No, the dude trains jiu-jitsu legit, Mark Zuckerberg, man. Like,
he won a competition. Jiu-jitsu, like no one lets you win. Like he won. Yeah. So there. If Elon Musk is serious, like he really needs to reconsider that. Like.
Yeah, he's gonna get fucked up.
Oh yeah, lizard boy, smash him.
Lizard, cyborg man, man of no face, just
yeah. He blinks that way. He doesn't blink. Like
yeah. I think that's a good way to end it. Oh, Aaron's just said Zuckerberg's been training with Izzy and Volk. Fuck you know.
Yeah,
if he's training with those lads, like, these dudes not messing about, man. He's training with world champions.
Yeah, he was grappling with Izzy, and like he's ripped. He's got like a full pack and all that. Yeah, he would smash it. I personally won't fuck with Zuckerberg now. Like, no. I'll cross the street.
Did you see that?
Fuck with Zuck.
Yeah, there you go. Did you see that guy who interviews, like he winds up fighters in press conferences and says, "Oh, what you do is other," and then he goes to gyms and he takes like shots. Have you seen that guy?
Oh, is it Charlie? Is that like an old?
Yeah, but he went to Izzy's gym and Izzy recognized who he is, and he kicks him in the ribcage, but just taps him, and the guy goes down like a sack of shit, just falls on the floor, just holding it, and then Izzy's trying to get him up, going, "He's not hurt, he's fine."
No,
like, why would you do that? Why would you take a kick from that man? It's so stupid. Anyway.
Well, I've been meaning to tell you guys. Finally, just there's a. I've got an Ed Woodward lookalike on my stream. Yeah, I'm hoping
get him on the show. Let's get him on the show.
Every time I see him walk past, I always double take. Like, yeah, he must be related to Woodward. Like, literally, he looks exactly like him. Like,
yeah. Get him on the show. We'll abuse him for looking like Woodward. Anyways, I think we could wrap it up there. There's a couple of comments. Musk may go in a street fight and catch him with a one. You never know, 1-on-1. Nah, Musk is getting fucked up, mate. Gray. I'm sorry, mate. He's getting fucked up. It's not happening. But yeah, lads, appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show. Fun at the end. Some nice little stuff on Onana and the sales and everything else going on. I'm sure there'll be a show tomorrow. Hopefully we get a Here We Go from Fabrizio or an exclusive from Ornstein at some point with Onana, so it's 100% confirmed, and he's on the plane next week for the thing. Follow us on follow us on the socials: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all your videos, your clips, your news, your tweets, all that good stuff. Go follow it there. We're working on a couple of guests for next week, possibly. We'll give you a shout as soon as they're confirmed. But yeah, we're working on it. Lads, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, look up the Real Red OnlyFans as well. Coming soon.
Yes. Chivy's going to put the first video up for you. By the way, has anybody looked into Adam 22 just before we go? Has anybody looked into that thing?
Oh, I've seen it all over Twitter, mate.
Yeah. Just saying, go have a look. Go have a look on Twitter. Type in Adam 22 and you'll find out. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. But go have a look. Yeah, it's on Twitter and it's disturbing to say the least. Absolutely disturbing. Yeah, thank you for coming on, and we'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Peace.
Cheers, Dan. I'm still partway through this video. It's like, what happened?
We want to blaze out, and we want to blaze out. We want to blaze out, and we want to blaze out. We want to blaze out, and we want to blaze out.
That's funny.
Are you serious?